Good day, everyone. I'm Father John Luis Mary, and it's so nice to have you here for this month's Logos video reflection. Life is no kid's cute story, but it's for real. We might have cute memories of the story of Jonah. Do you still remember those colorful picture books showing Jonah and the big fish, the boat and the storm, the worm which killed the plant, and etc.? I bet you do. But this book in the Bible is very interesting. Why? Because it is the only book among the books written by the minor prophets which gives us no compilation of oracles in God's punishments. But it's about a story of a hard-headed prophet called Jonah who tried to run away from the mission God entrusted to him. But all the more, it's very interesting because despite Jonah's cowardice and disobedience, God is so faithful and merciful to him, and surely to you and me. Thank you for prayerfully meditating Jonah's prayer in Jonah chapter 2 verses 2 to 9. And just a quick remark, he uttered this prayer when he was in the belly of the great fish, as he realized the great trouble he's into because of his running away from God. And now let's see how the person of Jonah, his life story, and his prayer teach us to trust all the more God's mercy, leading us to a true repentance of heart. It is noteworthy to consider that the meaning of the name Jonah in Hebrew is dove. Of course, we know what dove is. It's a bird, its color is white, and it's normally the symbol of peace. His name signifying as dove is interesting if we consider the two major parts of the book of Jonah. Quickly, it's so simple. Part 1, Jonah's disobedience to God, and Part 2, Jonah's obedience to God. Well, I find it interesting because a dove is a bird, and birds are one of the most free creatures of God, in a sense that they can easily fly, and it's really not easy to catch them. Well, this image perfectly fits the Part 1 of the book, where Jonah, before God, is so free, and it was easy for him to fly like a bird and run away from God. And we know the story that this invited great trouble, like the storm, not just a physical storm, but also the storm of the heart, where turbulence and uneasiness disturb us. As we have already asserted that dove is also a symbol of peace, then it's super amazing to make the parallel of this symbol to Part 2, where Jonah's repentance and conversion led him to obey God, thus profoundly leading him to peace. Jonah's prayer in chapter 2 was the beginning of his conversion, and I just love how he started it by saying, "I cried out to the Lord in my great trouble, and he answered me." Oh man, it's so beautiful to see that Jonah's first reflex, as he understood the weight and gravity of his trouble, is to remember and call upon the Lord. This is such a wonderful grace, because if we have this, and we do this every time we're in trouble, then God will always answer us. This is for real. Try this and you will see. Jonah was in the belly of the great fish for 3 days and 3 nights, and we could just imagine how anxious he could be. But what's edifying is that he continued praying. When I had lost all hope, I turned my thoughts once more to the Lord, and my earnest prayer went out to you in your holy temple. You know, God is also known to be the God of another chance. So when the temptation to lose hope beats us, then it's precisely the time to keep the faith and be earnest in prayer, because God's mercy is constant and his faithfulness is unending. And this was also true for Jonah, because that apparent dark moment in the belly of the great fish allowed him to recognize how God is so merciful to him through the many episodes of his life where God precisely and in his great goodness saved him. Clearly, this pushed him to be resolved and end his prayer by saying, "I will offer sacrifices to you with songs of praise, and I will fulfill all my vows, for my salvation comes from the Lord alone." Wonderful. Hope this prayer starts to resonate in each of our hearts. Indeed, our life is no kid's cute story, because we have grown and we have learned to fight its battles. But the good news is, our God is with us, so merciful and ever faithful. Hope you could do your spiritual exercise and just taste the sweetness of all this. God bless you.